欢迎参加由 InAmerica 在美教育主办的第3届国际 K12私立名校展。那么我是今天的主持人 Cindy， 也是 InAmerica 负责 K12项目的顾问老师之一。作为一家立足于纽约的教育咨询公司呢，一直致力于为来自全球各地的家庭提供最优质的教育咨询服务，帮助学生实现梦想。那么 K12的这个教育板块呢，也一直是我们 InAmerica 最关注的领域之一哈。那么在过去的几年当中呢，我们联合了来自不同国家的顶尖的一些私立学校呢，通过举办不同类型的展会和活动，为学生和家长提供了更多了解私立学校和 K12教育的平台。那么我相信今天参加活动的家长呢，也有很多在之前的这个活动中也参加过我们多次这样的展会活动哈。我们这次的活动呢，一共是为期是4天哈。我刚刚把这个我们整体的活动安排分享给大家。那么从今天的美东时间今天早上的10点开始呢，我们整个活动一直会持续到周五也就是9月这个应该是21号到24号哈。那么从美东时间今天早上的10点一直持续到今天的周五晚上，一共呢我们将会有来自美国和加拿大的22所顶尖的私立学校跟大家见面。那么其中包括了寄宿走读不同类型的学校那么涵盖了从幼儿园到高中的不同年级哈。那我们今天早上的这个活动呢，会有2所优秀的寄宿和走读学校开场，分别是 Milton Academy 和 Suffield Academy。那么我们每个学校呢会有35分钟的分享，然后呢大概是留给大家5到10分钟的一个问答互动环节。在讲座的期间呢，大家可以把问题先发送到聊天室当中。那么在最后的问答环节呢，我们会由学校的老师一一来解答哈。那么我们首先分享的呢是Milton Academy。那 Milton 呢是位于波士顿，是一所集幼儿园到高中的学校。学校从9年级呢开始提供寄宿。学校非常关注学生的创造力和批判性思维的培养，那么鼓励学生勇于表达自己的一个想法这是学校的一个教育的一个目标。那么今天跟大家见面的呢是学校的小学和初中部的招生主任Miss Novak。
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for joining us today. Kind of like give a background and a little bit introduction in the very beginning, but we are very excited to learn more about Milton in the next 35 minutes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having me today. My name is Katie Novak. I'm the Director of Lower and Middle School Admission here at Milton. So today I'm going to talk mostly about the lower and the middle school. Although we are a K-12 school, we were founded in 1798, and we enroll students in kindergarten through grade 12. And we're located in Milton, Massachusetts, which is about 8 miles south of Boston.
Yeah, 那么刚刚呢老师也分享了哈，那么学校是幼儿园到高中的哈。那么他今天呢主要还是集中在小学和初中部这个部分的一个分享。
Great. So as I mentioned before, Milton Academy was founded in 1798, and we enroll students in kindergarten through grade 12. We're a co-ed institution, and our lower and middle school programs have students from over 44 towns in the Boston area. And 43% of our students identify as BIPOC students. We have total 317 students in our K-8 community. And then in the upper school, they have approximately 700 students in 9th through 12th grade. In our division, we now have our entry points are kindergarten, where we add 24 new students. And 4th grade, where we add 8 new students, and then 6th grade, we add 13, and in 7th grade, we add 10 new students. And then beginning in 9th grade, we attract scholars from over 25 different countries, 31 states, and have a 50-50 boarding and day ratio.
Okay, sure. 那么刚刚老师也介绍了一下学校的基本信息哈，大家能够看到，有些信息呢我就不去赘述了。那么学校也是有着200多年历史的一所学校了。那么小学和中学部一共有300多个学生，那么高中部呢大概是在700多个学生左右哈。那么他刚刚也分享了，那么学校的幼儿园是他们的开始招生的年级，然后基本上是24个学生新生，然后4年级、6年级、7年级他们也都会在不同的年级会有就是这个招生的一个名额。
So I just like to read Milton's mission because I do believe that it really embraces our school. So Milton's mission is Milton Academy cultivates in its students a passion for learning and a respect for others. Embracing diversity in the pursuit of excellence, we create a community in which individuals develop competence, confidence, and character. Our active learning environment in and out of the classroom develops creative and critical thinkers, unafraid to express their ideas, and prepared to make meaningful lifetime success and to live by our motto, dare to be true.
Yeah, that's I really like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
对，刚刚老师也是分享了一下 Milton 他们的办学的理念哈，然后我觉得比较这个重点的一些信息就是说非常注重孩子这种学习的这种热情哈，然后对他人的一些尊重，然后对这个自信啊，对你的性格的培养，那么比较重要的就是刚刚也提到了，要成为一个这个有创造性的、有这个批判性思维的这种学生哈。那么勇于表达自己，这个学校的这个所谓的这个叫座右铭哈，我个人也是非常喜欢，叫 Dare to be true， 就是勇于做你自己，勇于追求真实。这个老师也是非常想跟大家分享的Milton 的这个办学的理念。
Just a little bit of an overview. Our lower school is kindergarten through grade 5, and our middle school is 6th through 8th grade. And then our upper school is 9th through 12th grade. You know, we're really culturally distinct but connected divisions. There's principals in each division, and children really thrive, benefiting from the continuum and cohesion of a K-12 experience.
Yeah, that's very important. 那么学校的小学部呢是 K 到就是幼儿园到5年级，中学呢是6到8年级，那么9到12呢是学校的这个高中部。虽然呢每个这个小的这个部门都是有自己特点的，但他们是互相融合在一起的。这个也就是能够把学校的教育理念能够从幼儿园到12年级去有一个比较好的过渡和这个传承。
Just a little bit about our lower school culture. We really want our children to learn at the natural pace of childhood and to have experiences to explore. You know, we don't rush content. We have, you know, a 13-year journey with the little kids. So we really want them to explore and to learn through hands-on experiences. They come to really nuanced understandings of the connections between the subjects that we teach. We work on practicing mutual respect, learning from each other. And of course, our classes are small, so the teachers, you know, about 12 kids per class, so the teachers really get to know each kid individually.
Wow, that's very small class. Good. 对，那么小学部这边呢，就是学校非常就是它的这个教育理念，就是说我们希望我们的教育是根据孩子自然成长的一个这个就是他的这个步伐哈去教学的所以呢，这个也是传承到了他的这种日常的学校的生活当中。那么刚才也提到了几点，包括这个如何去了解每个科目，让孩子去在这个每个科目不同的科目之间如何帮助他们去了解和建立这种联系，那么培养孩子如何去尊重他人那么另外他也提到了非常重要的一点，他们的小学部的这个师生比是非常低的哈，每一个班级就只有12个孩子，所以孩子从老师这边得到的这种关注是非常非常的多的。
And then in the middle school, as we know, sometimes the middle school years can be challenging. Kids are growing and learning and changing. So we work on really helping them become more responsible and independent. Our faculty support our students to take risks, to try new things. We focus on, you know, vigorous academics skill development, weekly community meetings so students can connect and be leaders in their community.
Yeah, that's very important. 那么这个中学部呢，那么随着孩子的这个成长哈，中学部变成一个非常重要的一个这个转变的一个阶段哈。那么在这个阶段呢，学校非常注重孩子的这个你的这个就是你的这种独立性，你去承担更多的责任，那么还去鼓励学生去尝试挑战自己这些是学校非常去注重的哈。那么也培养学生在他所在的这个小的就是不论你是在什么样的一个小的集体当中去承担一个领导者的一个角色。
So diversity, equity, and inclusion is incredibly important at Milton. We continually strive to create an inclusive community, both of students and adults at Milton. And we know this work is essential for our students to develop responsibility and empathy, and as our students graduate and enter the workforce and the bigger world. So we work incredibly hard to make sure students have developmentally appropriate opportunities to engage in cultural development inside and outside of the classroom, whether it's culture club, affinity groups, enrichment activities, speakers. And these are just some of the affinity groups that we have in the lower and the middle school for students to connect with students who are similar to them and to have a shared identity.
Yeah. 那么学校对于这个多元化呀、包容性还有这种公平哈，那么在学校是非常非常专注的。那么大家可以看到学校有各种各样的一些活动，学校是通过这样的活动呢，去确保这个学生对这些方面会有一个比较好的一个这个接触哈，培养学生的在这方面这种多元化、包容性这方面的一些能力，或者是创造这样的一个文化哈，所以能够看得出来学校是非常注重一个多元化的一个社区。
Just a little bit about the lower school life at Milton. So our lower school attracts curious, vivacious, and capable students who like to learn from their peers and be collaborative. We have small class sizes, as I mentioned before. So kindergarten has 24 students with 2 sections of 12. And they really get a lot of attention from their teachers. Faculty have time to connect during the day to work together and make sure that the scope and sequence is connected all through K through 12. We really want the students to learn to be good public speakers and leaders, so they have opportunities to be leaders in their building. And we have a robust assembly program on Fridays where we'll bring in outside speakers, students will present and perform.
关于就是这个小学部呢，老师刚才也讲了哈，那么是一个小班授课，每个班只有12个学生，所以学生呢得到老师的关注是非常非常多的哈。那么在小学部呢也非常注重培养孩子的这种公众演讲能力那么培养他成为一个这种领导者的这个能力哈。所以呢，这些呢是关于小学部这边他想要跟大家分享的。
And then in the middle school, we're a group of talented and motivated students, at the threshold of their teenage years who are excited to discover who they are and what their passions are going to be. We have a rigorous curriculum in classes in, of course, English, math, social studies, technology, science, foreign languages, visual and performing arts. Our faculty members serve as advisors and mentors. They have one-on-one contact with students all the time. And one interesting thing about Milton is because of our population of students who are very high achieving and hardworking, we don't give traditional letter grades, but instead we have very detailed comments and feedback for students, which allows students to take more academic risks and to try new things and not be so worried about getting an A all the time and being perfect, and to work collaboratively. So instead of a traditional grade, you would get for each learning objective in the middle school, for each class, you would get proficient or not proficient, and then very detailed narrative.
对，刚刚老师分享了就是中学部的一些情况，那么他前面也讲了中学部是青少年他非常成长当中非常重要的一个阶段哈，所以呢就是特别是刚刚讲到了如何去帮助学生更多的去探索他的一个潜能，不管是学术上也好还是其他方面哈，那么刚刚也提到了学校非常多的这个课程的一个设置，在学校呢在初中部他们是有1对1的这个。就是类似于辅导老师哈，帮助学生提供各方面的一些这个支持和帮助。另外他提到了呢，就是比较特别的是，他们在中学部是没有这种就是分数的，不是说你哪个科目得了 B 还是 A，他并不是用这样的一个标准，因为他们的学生都是非常能动性非常就是这个强的学生哈，那么。他会在这个每个科目期末的时候会写一些这个就是老师的评语，他通过这样的方式去鼓励学生更多的去尝试不同的这个他的这个学术兴趣哈，而不会担忧说我的这个分数怎么样。所以这点上呢，我觉得对于Milton 来讲还是非常特别的。
We also have lots of opportunities for students to be involved in different activities. We have a 360 program, which is similar to an effective education or a health program where it's co-taught by our middle school counselor and our learning specialist. So they discuss stress management, executive functioning skills, organization, and time management. So that's a really hallmark program that all of our students take in the middle school. We care about their social emotional health just as much as their academic work.
Yeah, that's really
yeah, so important.
Uh-huh.
And then athletic opportunities after school, we have an interscholastic athletic program where students can play sports, as well as opportunities to do theater productions after school and clubs. And then, you know, the real benefit to starting in the lower school or middle school at Milton is you're really prepared for the upper school, which starts in 9th grade, and students do not need to reapply. So they can just, as long as they're thriving academically and socially, they move directly onto the upper school.
Sure. 那么刚刚老师也特别提到了在中学部的这个360的这个项目哈，其实就是不但从学术方面，从学生的这个社交和他的这个就是其他方面哈，有一个这个帮助，那么包括帮助学生如何去缓解你自己的这种压力啊，如何更好的做这种这个时间管理哈。或者说组织你日常生活，就方方面面这些东西都是非常重要。那么软技能，所以呢，就是学校不光是专注学生的这个学术，还有他的这个社交和这个生活方方面面的，所以都是为了培养学生进入到这个更好进入到他的这个高中哈。那么学校也提到了，就只要你是在学校的这个中学顺利毕业哈，那你是顺利进入到学校的这个高中部进行学习的，不需要额外的去考试这样子。
So students have access to a wide range of technology in our design thinking lab, where we have technology classes for all grades, as well as opportunities for our competitive middle school robotics team to meet. They do Lego and Vex robotics. We have various 3D printers, Raspberry Pi kits, microcontroller kits. We have a big vertical Lego wall that kids love to build on. And so a number of opportunities for kids to explore technology in a hands-on way.
对，就是咱们参加活动的家长，如果你没有静音哈，静音一下哈，不然的话呢，可能会打扰到老师这边分享哈。谢谢大家的配合。那么中学部、小学部和中学部的在这种就是科技方面的专注度也是非常非常高的。老师也刚才提到了，每一个就是年级他都会上这样的一个科技方面的课程哈。包括刚才提到了有这种机器人呐，学校还有一些3D 打印机啊，还有一些这个乐高啊这些就是动手的哈，关于跟科技相关的一些课程设置给这个小学和中学部。
So lower and middle school students have opportunities to engage in visual, performing arts, and music, both in the middle school and in the lower school. In our middle school, students have opportunities to participate in our jazz, our wind ensemble, string ensemble, public speaking, speech team, performing arts, and various digital media and film and visual arts classes. So lots of opportunities built into the day for students to be creative and have those experiences.
对，那么在就是小学部和中学部呢，都会有设置各种各样的艺术相关的一些课程哈，不论是从我们的这个就是绘画呀、音乐呀哈，到这种舞台剧，到你的这种表演哈，就是学校提供非常多的机会哈，每个学生都能够参与到这些活动当中去。
Here are just some pictures of students engaged in arts at Milton.
That's very cute.
In the lower school, we have physical education twice a week where students are outside playing, learning about fitness, body awareness, sportsmanship. And then in the middle school is when we start interscholastic sports. So we have 15 interscholastic teams. We play in the independent school league. Lots of opportunities for kids to participate in athletics after school.
Wow, that's very good. So student can take a sports like as young as like 6th grade?
As young as 6th grade, yep. And then in the lower school, they do PE. There also is PE for the middle school students as well. So they have that option too.
Sure. 那么小学部呢，就是学生呢是上这个体育课哈，大概是每周2次。那么到了中学6年级以后呢，你就可以参加学校的校队出去进行这个比赛哈。当然除了这个校队以外，也会有这个体育课程哈。这个是关于学校的这个体育方面的一个设置。
So we have a very active parents association at Milton. We are always looking for parents to try to be as involved as they can be in the community because we think it helps strengthen our community as well as it provides opportunities for parents to give back. So we have parents association with speakers and book clubs, lots of annual events on campus for families to come, and then volunteer opportunities too.
Oh, that's nice. Parents can contribute.
Definitely.
那么小学和中学部的这个就是家长会呢，也是非常活跃的一个组织哈。他刚才也提到了，有非常多的这个活动。那么现在的就是现有的这个 Milton 的家长呢，也是非常活跃的哈。那么会在校园主办各样的活动，刚才也提到了，包括这个读书俱乐部呀。那么家长也会作为一些演讲就是这个嘉宾哈，到学校去跟学生去进行分享哈。总而言之呢，就是学校的这个家长会的这个组织也是非常的紧密的，为社区也是做出了非常多的贡献。
So this year we are fully back on campus like we were last year, 5 days a week. Students are still maintaining most of their classes together with just their class, but there is some mixing out at recess now. All faculty and staff, students must wear masks when inside the building, regardless of vaccination status. We also have pool testing once a week, especially for all unvaccinated students and their teachers. We're still doing lots of classes outside, eating lunch outside. So safety of our students is really priority number one.
Yeah. 那么到这个今年新的这个学年呢，学校就是小学部和中学部都是全部返回学校来去上课了哈。学校会有一些非常多的措施来确保整个的这个校园的一个安全，包括学生都会戴这个口罩啊，然后。学校的一些活动啊，也会安排在户外啊，像包括一些课程哈，还有每周的一些检测，那么学校这边安排的都是非常妥当的。
So this is my admission team. So again, my name is Katie Novak. Whitney Kinch, Katie Marino, and Lissa Felino are all here to answer any questions and welcome you throughout the process. And just to go over a little bit about the application process, specifically for the lower school, and then I'll talk briefly about the middle school. So our entry points are kindergarten and grade 4, but sometimes spaces do become available through attrition, so you can certainly apply for any grade. The application deadline is January 15th. It's online. You'll fill that out online. Financial aid deadlines are January 31st for new families, and we send out our admission decisions March 10th. And then in terms of what's required for the lower school, we require an application and a fee, a Zoom interview, which you can schedule online. We do have an optional tour available for families if you are able to come to campus. Otherwise, we have a virtual tour, so it's not required by any means. For kindergarten, we have a group visit that, again, of course, can be waived if families are not able to be here on campus. Fourth grade, we'll do a Zoom group visit. We require transcripts and teacher recommendations, and then an assessment for any kindergarten student, which we can do on Zoom. And this is all on our website too, so feel free, you don't need to remember this all right now, it's all on our website. And then moving into the middle school.
I'm sorry, do you mind maybe translate a little bit?
Absolutely, sorry, yes, me too. Sorry.
那么现在呢，在学校老师再分享一下关于招生这边的一个具体的一些细节哈。那么小学部呢，主要的这个招生是幼儿园和4年级，但是呢，在其他年级每一年学校也会有一定的这种流动性哈，所以呢，学校欢迎大家去申请任何的一个年级。当然这些信息呢，就包括具体的一些要求呢，基本上在学校的网站都是有的。比较重要的信息呢，就是1月15号呢是学校申请的一个截止日期哈。那么这一点上呢是比较重要。那么从学校整体的这个申请流程上来看，今年大部分还都是会去进行一个在线的一个安排。So Ms. Novak, so seems like most of the activity going to be virtually this year.
Yes, most of the activity will be virtual. So we're able to schedule that via Zoom. And there is a virtual tour that you can take on our website of the buildings.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yes, of course. And same with 6th and 7th grade. So you'll fill out the application. We'll have a Zoom interview for the student and the parent. And again, it's nothing to be nervous about. We're all parents who work in this office, so we know it can be a little unnerving for students. We really try to put them at ease as much as we can. You'll send transcripts, teacher recommendations. Students for whom English is not their first language, we do require either the TOEFL primary for 4th or 5th grade or the TOEFL junior for 6th or 7th grade. And students will need to take either the SSAT or the ISEE exam. And if you are having trouble registering for any of those tests, please give us a call. We know it can be tricky internationally with COVID.
Okay, sure. 那么中学部这边呢，也是主要的招生年级是6到7年级，但是8年级这边呢，也是会有就是根据每年的情况也是会有名额的哈。那么基本上这边有一些这个具体的一个要求哈，我们这也就不赘述了，大家都跟那个小学部的也是差不太多。那么如果咱们孩子的这个母语不是英文的话呢，可能要稍微提交一下这个托福这个小托福哈，或者是针对于低龄的托福的一个成绩，其他的都是差不太多的。那么具体后面个别家长咨询的话，咱们后面可以再详细去说哈。
Financial aid is available for families who qualify. So we give out 12.1 million financial aid dollars a year. These are the tuitions that are listed here for the lower school and the middle school. And about 35% of our students receive financial aid. I did put the director of financial aid's contact information, Chris Kane, down at the bottom of the slide.
Sure. 那么学校也是为就是达到这个一定标准的一些家庭是提供这种经济支持的哈。那么下面呢也会有学校的这个我们在 PPT 上也看到学校的一些这个学费的一些具体的一个情况哈。
We will have some virtual events to help you get to know the lower and the middle school, and the upper school will be doing them as well. So if you are interested, please inquire online and make sure your child is in the system, and we will be sending out emails with Zoom links for all of these opportunities to get to know Milton a little bit more virtually.
那么小学部和中学部呢，今年的秋季哈， 就是大家能看到这个时间点哈，也是学校的一些在线的一些活动，能够更多了解小学和中学部的哈。如果有哪些家长感兴趣的话呢，可以联系我们的公文老师，我们可以帮你们去注册这样的一个活动哈，在线可以去了解更多的信息。
Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm happy if we have some time to answer questions, however you'd like to facilitate that. And I really look forward to working with your family throughout the process.
Actually, we can pick some questions. 那么今天呢，我们学校这边的基本信息呢，就差不多讲到这里哈。那么我知道呢，家长也在咱们的这个聊天室里也发了非常多的问题哈。我们来看。Okay, so there's a question saying, ask like, could international student apply for 8th grade at Milton? We wanted to know whether your school offers I-20 for 8th grade.
So 8th grade, it's not a planned entry point for us, but sometimes we do have students who will leave and there's attrition. So you can definitely apply. And we can, once the student's enrolled, we work with Lori Dow, who's in the upper school admission office, and she can help facilitate getting the I-20 visas from SEVIS.
Okay. Sure, that's wonderful. OK, 那么这个家长问的就是说，国际学生能不能申请8年级哈？那么学校也说了，8年级是没有问题的，但是8年级因为它不是一个常规学校的这个申请年级哈，所以名额上可能相对来说会少一些，或者根据每年的情况来变化哈。但是国际学生是可以申请的，这个没有问题。So one question about STEM program. So they just wanted to know whether STEM is kind of a signature program in Milton, because one of the students really likes, robotic and this kind of a program. Yeah,
absolutely. So especially we start integrating technology starting in kindergarten. So students have little bees that are little robots that they program. So it starts very early and continues. And then the robotics program begins in 4th and 5th grade. And then they have an official robotics team where they compete against other schools. And we actually were, I believe we got 3rd place in the World Robotic Tournament for middle school for 7th grade for VEC robotics. So yes, absolutely. Students can be involved in that. And that usually meets after school. So it won't interfere kind of with their daily life.
对，刚才群里有家长在问这个关于就是学校的这种机器人啊，还有这个科技方面的项目是不是很强哈？是不是学校的特色？那么在刚才讲座的时候也分享过了啊，学校其实从很小的这个年纪开始就给学生设置跟这种就是科技相关的，像机器人也好这样的一个项目哈，所以学校是非常非常重视的。刚才也提到呢，就是从4年级开始呢，就是说他们会有正式的，就是类似于学校的校队这样的一个这个俱乐部或者这个团队哈，去做这个机器人的一些项目。那么刚才他也提到了，他们7年级的这个机器人团队呢，之前是获得了就是在就是这一类别在这个全球内的第3名的一个非常好的成绩哈，所以的确是这科技方面、机器人方面是学校比较重视的哈。So they wanted to know, like you mentioned a little bit about how to prepare a student from like a middle school to high school. 然后like one family is asking whether it's kind of like smooth transition. If there's any difficulty if student transfer from a middle school to high school. Yeah, they just wanted to hear a little bit more about that. Yeah,
that's a great question, and I would say the format of our middle school classes are very similar to the upper school. So we do sort of a Harkness style with lots of discussion-based debates in class. We even have discussions in math class. So our students are used to really presenting their ideas and backing them up with supporting answers. So that they're very prepared. Our curriculum is connected curriculum for the upper school, and they're very successful, very confident and successful in the upper school.
Yeah, that's right. 那么刚才有个家长在问哈，就是说 Milton 这边初中和高中的这个衔接是不是很顺畅的？有没有就是说这个课程体系方面学生有没有难度啊？刚才老师也分享了。那么他们的这个中学部在这个就是 帮助学生去适应高中，就他们学校的高中就是做了非常非常多不同的一些设置哈。那么其中一个比较初中部这边呢，它有非常多的课程都是这个以这个讨论为基础的，因为大家也知道，到了高中阶段 ，Milton 这边很多课程都是用的这种圆桌讨论的一个形式哈。那么他在中学的时候就是使用同样的一个模式哈，甚至他们去上这个数学课，很多都是这种讨论的一个形式。所以说从这种课程的衔接性上是非常非常高的。那么孩子到了这个高中都是适应的非常好的，因为他在初中阶段这种上课模式呀，或者说他的这种课程的衔接都是设置的非常好的。所以呢，大家不用有这样的一个担心哈。They heard the admission rate is lower than 7%. Is that true?
It is competitive. So I would say in kindergarten, generally we have about 80 applications for 24 spaces.
Okay.
Middle school is usually between about 100 for 10 to 13 spaces. So, and then in the upper school, their acceptance rate is challenging too. However, it's certainly still worth it to apply. And you never know what will happen, and you never know what kind of year we'll have or what kind of students we'll be looking for. So, and even if it ends up not being a match for your child, we always try to make the process as welcoming and to feel as positive for the students, no matter what.
那么刚刚有家长在群里问哈，说听说学校的这个录取率非常低哈，那么听一下老师，老师刚刚分享了一个数据哈，他说肯定是很激烈的。那么 Milton 大家都知道是这个可以说排名非常靠前，学术各方面都非常强的一个学校哈。那么他提到呢，就是幼儿园，比方说幼儿园他们应该是每年有24个名额哈，大概有可能不太到100个学生在申请。那么中学部呢，大概是10几个名额，大概也是100个学生申请。那么那高中部呢，可能这个数据就根据我的了解就是非常非常的低了哈。所以呢，从老师分享的数据中，我们也能看到，其实咱们的孩子申请肯定是从越低，你的竞争的激烈程度会相对来说好一些。你到了高中以后会更加的激烈。这个不光是 Milton， 我们看到其他的学校这个数据也是这样的哈。如果能够有条件早开始去申请的，小学、中学申请的，我们就不要等高中。高中的确是竞争非常激烈，因为考察学生的各方面信息，不光是这个学术方面也是非常非常看重的哈，就方方面面的。Yeah, I think that's it. Looks like it's better if they're able to apply earlier. That's
competitive. Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, another question is for like if the student is studying like in Hong Kong, like a dual language, English and Cantonese or Chinese environment. So they assume probably they don't need to take the standard like a TOEFL test or something.
Yes. So if a student is currently in maybe an international school or an English speaking school and has been in that school for many years, or even dual language and has a very strong command of the English language, they generally don't have to take TOEFL, and families can just email us and we can kind of discuss it with them and see whether or not it would be required.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. 那么刚刚有家长在群里也在问哈，就说如果小孩是在香港上国际学校哈，一直是接受这种双语教育或者英语的教育的话呢，原则上来说呢，学校是不需要咱们再提供英语的考试的。但是呢，可能还是要探讨一下，看一下孩子这个面试的过程当中展现出来的英文各方面的一个能力哈。Okay, about standardized test. Oh, okay, sure. About standardized test, I wanted to confirm: is it required this year? For all the applicant? Yeah.
So in the upper school, it is optional, and in the middle school, it is required. So we will be requiring either the SSAT or the ISE test.
ISE. Okay, wonderful. 那么有家长也在问说这个标化考试哈，今年的一个政策。那么今年呢，就是高中部学校就是类似于就是你如果有你可以提交哈，那么小学部是必须要提交的，你可以选择去上这个提供 SSAT 的这个成绩， 或者 IC 的这个成绩哈是这样。我们的时间是有限了，因为我们还要给下面的学校留一定的时间哈。也是非常感谢 Miss Novak 的一个分享哈。那如果说有家长还有个别有咨询的这个家庭呢，可以稍后加我们的这个微信小助手和我们的顾问老师来预约1对1的一个咨询的一个时间哈。Yes, so Ms. Novak, thank you so much for your sharing. It's very informative. It's a wonderful presentation. I think we're gonna wrap up here. We really appreciate your, time. If there are further inquiry questions from the parents, we will make sure to contact you later on. And also the parents could they can contact you directly. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Cindy, for hosting and translating. It was so wonderful to meet you all, and I look forward to connecting with you further.